Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss indices, and in one of the videos I've posted I've already discussed logarithms, and this particular topic is very important. I will drop the link to that logarithm video so that by the time you want to mesh them together it will be easier for you. So in this video we're going to discuss everything we need to know about indices. But before we dive deep, we want to know what the term indices is all about. We have what we call index, and we still have what we call power. We have what we call the exponent. All these things, they have similar meaning. Index is talking about something that is raised. Power is talking about something on top. Exponent, they have the same meaning. And index is a singular form of these indices. That means indices is in its plural form, whereas index is in its singular form. That does not change the meaning of indices and index. So that is to say, for example, if I have something of this nature, a to the power of m, this m is what we call the index. The m is still what we call the power, is still what we call the exponent. They have the same, so we can interchange the name. We can use power, we can use index, we can use exponent, so that when you see them, you should be able to identify that. And this particular one that carries this one is what we call the base. So this is called the base, and this is called the power, or you can call it the index or the exponent, which is exponential. All right, so in this video we're going to talk about the laws of indices, having understood the concept of indices. That is to say, if I have 2 to the power of 3, what does that mean? This 2 is a base, this 3 is a power. That means we have to duplicate this 2. This 2 has to multiply itself 3 times. That is what it means. So we can have it like this: 2 times 2 times 2. That is the original meaning of 2 to the power of 3. And this will give us the result of 8. Alright? So when we see it like this, we can easily express it in this form. So that is the concept of indices. So quickly, we're going to discuss at least 2 of the laws of indices, which the first one will be laws of indices. The first law we're going to discuss is product law. So either you call it product law, or you can as well call it multiplication law. And the law states that when multiplying same number of the base, the powers are added. So when the same number of the base is multiplied, the powers are added. For example, you have a to the power of m multiplied by a to the power of n. Since the bases are the same, from the concept we have here, this to be the base and this is the power. When the base are multiplied, and the base must be similar, when they are multiplied, you will need to take the common base, one of it, and then what happens to the power, you add them up. So that is the simple rule of indices called the product rule. So in essence, if I have a problem of this form, 2 to the power of 3 multiplied by 2 to the power of 4, it is simple that instead of you having to go by the method of saying 2 to the power of 3 means 2 by 2 by 2, multiply 2 to the power of 4, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, this will be strenuous. So instead of going through this process, you could easily pick the common base, one of the common base, and add the power, which is 3 plus 4. And this will give us 2 to the power of 7. So by the time you check in what does 2 to the power of 7 mean, then you have the final answer. 2 by 2 will give you 4. By this will give you 8. By this we give you 16. By this we give you 32. By this we give you 64. By this we give you 128. So we have 128 as 2 to the power of 7. That makes sense and makes it more easier. So that is the product law of indices. All right. So the next law we're going to look at is the division law. Let's treat product and division law, and then subsequent video we are going to tackle the rest law of indices. I've told you we have just 6 laws of indices, and we're going to treat them one after the other. So let's talk about multiplication law. We've treated this. Division law. Either you call it division or quotient. You can call it division or quotient rule law. The law states that when dividing the same number of a base, the powers are subtracted. So just the same way we treated this, in the same manner, a to the power of m divide by a to the power of n. You can see at this point, the bases are the same. I could easily take the common basis and then subtract the power. All right, that makes sense. So in a nutshell, if I have similar problem like this, 2 to the power of 4 divided by 2 to the power of 3. Instead of having to multiply this 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 and dividing it by the rest of this other one, which is 2 by 2 by 2, this cancels out, this cancels out, this cancels out. What remains is only 1, 2, and the answer is that. What if we have 2 raised to the power of 15, 2 raised to the power of 27? You can see that this method will stress us. So following this method, you could easily say the bases are the same, take the common basis, and then the power are subtracted. Remember I said when the base are divided, the powers are subtracted. So this will give us 2 to the power of 4 minus 3 will give us 1. And 2 to the power of 1 is the same thing as 2. And that is the result. You can see how easy product rule and quotient rule looks. So in the next video, I'm going to upload the next rules of indices. Alright, so if you have questions to ask, you can drop it on the comment section. And then if you have problems related to this, by the time we are done with the laws, we'll be solving a lot of problems regarding law of indices. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please, you can just click on that subscribe button, like my video, and also share. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for Instructor Alison online tutorials.